Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Warhammer Day previews have been done, so we're going to jump in and see if I was right with some of my predictions. So Warhammer Day is here and you can go over now and pre-order your new Leagues of Votann miniature and lots of really cool Horus Heresy stuff. But that's not why you're here. You're here to look at the predictions and to see if I was correct in them, as well as some really cool previews. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, they're all up on the Warhammer community website. If you want to look at yourself, you don't necessarily need to watch me if you don't want to, but it would be really cool if you did. So before we get started, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment of what your favorite thing is that we're about to show, and ring that bell as well, because I really need the help. There's about 70% of you that watch my videos but don't subscribe, so it'd be really cool if you could. So first things first, we're going to jump into 40k and have a look at what's coming. So yes, the Necrons, which I said was exactly what was coming. Now there is just a quick one on this, is that there only one miniature was shown as well as the Codex, and that's the same as for the AdMech. Now, the rumours are quite still strong that there are multiple models coming for the Necrons. There is another couple, or at least another named character, which I'm pretty sure is like Trajan or whatever he's called. In my video, I did say that this guy was the Stormbringer, but I meant the Stormlord. This is the one I meant. There are a number of Necron characters that are still in Finecast. This is one of them. It's now going to come in plastic. And we're going to scroll down and have a little look at him. He's pretty damn cool. I have to admit, I quite like it. I'm kind of getting drawn to the Necrons. I'm kind of digging the new Necron vibe. So there's supposed to be this. Now, there is another preview show in November. Now, you've also got to remember as well that this is a winter release along with the AdMech. So they're not going to be shown or released until at least the second half of December, January and February, and the first part of March. So having another preview in November kind of gives you the scope of showing a little bit more for 40k. So because they are coming. But this model is pretty cool. They also shown off some of the enhancements. I really love the cloak. And the Codex as well. And they kind of looked at the one of the stratagems and an enhancement. But all in all, yeah. I said this guy was coming. I said he was coming in plastic. Really, really cool. There will be more, and I'm pretty confident that come November's preview next month, we will see more Necrons characters previewed, and as we get closer to their launch, which is probably going to be mid-December in. So next up, we're going to be looking at the AdMech. So the AdMech, and this has to be the dude with the really big gun, as I said, and it has to be probably the most horrible miniature that they've ever sculpted. Now, there's multiple guns. There's this one, there's another version, but yeah, it is not a very good miniature. It's pretty crap. I would probably look at trying to convert this to get rid of these legs. Yeah, it's not the best miniature in the world, I will actually say, but like I did say, it was a big tall dude with a big gun. So, and there's the rules and stat lines for it. It does come with an alternative head with a different weapon, but all in all, not great. And obviously the new Adaptus Mechanicus Codex, and yeah, so they're one of their new rules and new stratagem is all up there as well, so it's pretty cool. But as I said, big tall dude with a big gun. This is it. So now we're going to jump into, let's do Kill Team, shall we? So one of the most worst kept secrets ever was the new Kill Team. So as I said in the predictions video, that if we do not see the Terminator Captain and the Scouts up on pre-order for today, announced last week, then it's a pretty much guarantee that we will see the Scouts in a Kill Team box alongside the new Plastic Strike and Scorpions, and lo and behold, boom, the new Kill Team is the new Strike and Scorpions and the new Space Marine Scouts. And this, as somebody who kind of wants to do an Eldar army, but it's always held off because the aspect warriors are shit and in Finecast, getting this is pretty cool. Now, there are a lot of other rumours as well that along with the release of the 10th edition Codex for the Eldar, that there will be plastic Swooping Hawks and plastic Warp Spiders, as well as a couple of Phoenix Lords. It's kind of cool to see that this is there. And it's kind of making me think, ooh, I could do an Eldar army. Striking Scorpions are probably one of my favourite Eldar units alongside Banshees. So now to get them all in plastic is pretty cool. So these look amazing. And by all accounts, you get all of the options and everything else in the unit to build a nice unit of 10. And they do look really, really good. I am pretty blown away by them. They do look amazing. And then obviously you've got the Exarch there, which is, you know, it's what you want. So also we've got the Scouts, and the Scouts, well, we've already seen the Scouts, and they kind of, and this is there's a couple of people saying that why did they preview them today when we've already seen them? And the simple reason was for that. They had to preview the Scouts alongside the new Space Marines that were coming, because they're in the Space Marine Codex, and that would kind of spoil the surprise. But the new Scout box looks so good. I really do like them. But then we knew that they were going to be coming because that was pretty much all confirmed that the Scouts would get updated in regards to the fact that they did this with the Neophytes in the Black Templars Crusader Squad. So they're pretty much those. I really like them. I really do like the new Scouts. And they will definitely be getting some of these guys to fight alongside my Terminators in my Howling Griffins army. So very, very cool. And you also get a little bit of terrain, and then this terrain set. Now, online, I've seen a lot of people bitching about this. The fact that they're selling the actual models, the miniatures themselves, separately from this terrain set. And a lot of people, and their decision for that is that a lot of Kill Team players have a lot of terrain, which is kind of correct. And you've also got to remember as well that if you are a Kill Team veteran, you don't need this terrain because you've already bought all the other war zones to go alongside it. But if you're someone like a 40k player who doesn't really want the terrain but just wants the miniatures, the actual idea of just being able to pick those up separately without buying the terrain is really, really a good idea. And it also, as well, it makes it more affordable for new Kill Team people to get into it, because you don't necessarily actually have to buy this. You can buy all the terrain and you just need to get the miniatures. So I think that's a really, really good, cool idea. And it looks kind of cool. So, but yeah, that is the Kill Team. Salvation is what it's called, and it comes with pretty much a little bit of terrain and the two squads, and it looks really, really cool. So that's 40k done. So let's look at Age of Sigmar. So one of the things that I got wrong in my prediction video, I said it was going to be a Lumineth Realm Lords model and a Stormcast Eternal model, and it isn't. It is a Sylvaneth model and a Stormcast Eternal model. There is Lumineth coming, pretty much sure there is, but I was 100% correct about the Stormcast Eternal. But we'll have a look at the Sylvaneth miniature right now. This is pretty cool. It's basically a Kurnoth Hunter riding a big-ass beetle. Like how cool is that? Like, they are cool. It's a cool faction. That looks like an amazing miniature. The Age of Sigmar design team literally destroyed the 40k design team, hands down. This, and like the next miniature we're going to be showing, is just insanely good. So I'm really impressed with this. But it's kind of pretty cool that it's a Kurnoth Hunter, basically riding a beetle, which is just so cool. Obviously, there's a Regiment of Renown, which I believe this is it right here, which has got a unit of the little guys on the flying beetles and a unit of Kurnoth hunters in the background, which with bows, okay. And there's obviously, alongside this and the other miniature, there is going to be Book 3, which is going to be known as the Long Hunt. So what we'll do is we'll jump over and have a look at the Stormcast Eternal, because boy, this miniature is what stole the preview for me. So the Stormcast Eternal, I told you there was a Stormcast Eternal coming. yes, I'm going to be making a separate video on the Stormcast Eternals and essentially the Stormcast Eternals coming into 4th edition, because we've had quite a bit of information regarding kind of what's going to happen, and there's a lot of rumours that are going to be sort of fed into that of what's been shown. And this miniature kind of leans heavily into it. And it's this guy here. And this is absolutely amazing. It is basically a Lord Relictor character on a dragon. Wow. Like, holy shit, this is good. Now, I knew this guy was coming. Obviously, I was informed by my sources in the wind. So I kind of knew that this guy was coming. And this kind of leans heavily into what I've also been told. And I'm going to talk about that in a separate video regarding what's happening to the Stormcast Eternals, especially for 4th edition. And I'll talk about that in a separate video and the rumours and everything else. So keep an eye out on the channel. That will be up very, very soon. But yes, this is a new character that's going to be coming out for the Stormcast Eternals. It's basically a Lord Relictor riding around on a dragon, because dragons are cool. And like, I'm really hoping that this model is less than 400 points, because I will bring this model in a heartbeat alongside my Cities of Sigmar. It is amazing, and I don't care that I don't really collect Stormcast Eternals anymore, but I am 100% buying this miniature just to paint it, because it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Really is amazing. Like, look at the level of detail on this, like so good. Yeah, so good, so good. So pretty cool, and obviously this is kind of the old stuff, and there's implications for that. And the Regiment of Renown is basically him and 2 of the Storm Guard. The Stormcast flying around on the dragons. And it's basically the same dragon. And this will have implications for what's coming for the Stormcast later on the line. But with that, let's jump over to the Old World. So, Warhammer the Old World has finally had a reveal of substance, and unfortunately it's just one faction that has been revealed, and it's basically the what essentially is an army box, the launch army box for the Bretonnian faction. So this is one of the worst kept secrets out on the internet right now. This is the model that was leaked, where a lot of the sprues were leaked, and then some of the miniature being built was leaked. This is the new plastic Lord on Pegasus, which looks really cool. This is a plastic miniature. It looks really cool, and the sprues look pretty good. So this was kind of already revealed, so we kind of knew that this was coming anyway. But you've got some options there to build it in sort of different options, and you can also have like a battle standard on a Pegasus, which is really good. Now, that is right. There is a new unit of Realm Knights on foot. Now, they kind of let this out of the bag when they initially talked about the Old World, and they kind of sort of started previewing the Bretonnian stuff, because they come out with a Bretonnian hero on foot. And in the little blurb underneath, they mentioned Realm Knights on foot, and which is a unit that they never had previously in the Old World, but now they do. So this is a multi-part plastic kit that is one of the new kits, along with the Pegasus Lord, that is coming for the Bretonnian range for the Old World. Now, there's a lot of salt online right now, because as you will see, there's a lot of old 20-plus-year-old kits coming back for the Old World, and people are a little bit salty. But this is one of the new units. These look amazing, like really cool. Like, you could, yeah, they're really nice. These are a nice unit, and some of the options that you can get are right there. But that's not all. So the box will also include these Pegasus, which are extremely old. Now, I can understand the aggro and the salt, because when you look at the Pegasus Lord and then you look at these, the Pegasus Lord is amazing, and these are pretty much dated. Hopefully, once it's out, things like this will get pulled, and then they'll get re-released with updated models. Otherwise, that's a bit crap. For me, so far, there isn't enough new plastics to entice me into wanting to collect the old world. So yeah, unless the high elves were some of the old metal kits were redone, then maybe, but so far maybe not. So the Realm Knights, the old plastic Realm Knights, yep, they're coming back, and the Men at Arms, the old plastic Men at Arms kit are also coming back, as well as the Bowman. And this is a new miniature, a new resin miniature. So basically she's your wizard for your Bretonnian armies. That's really nice, and I really love the colours that they've painted her in. It really is a pretty beautiful model. And then there's the other sort of resin miniatures that are also coming out, which we've been previewed already. So we have the first miniature was the Realm Knight on foot stabbing his sword through the orc head. And then we had the standard bearer, and then we had the lady on the unicorn, and then, oh, pardon me, I'm going to sneeze, maybe not. And then we have the standard bearer, which they previewed a few days ago. So this is apparently what's coming in for the Bretonnians. Now, I kind of took away from the way they were talking that this was going to be the release box, or at least the range for them. So it's yeah, pretty interesting. And this is an old metal model, which was an absolute bastard to build. And apparently it's been retooled and coming back out in Forge World resin. Now, the Forge World resin's pretty good. So that should be quite good. And they also mentioned that there's going to be metal kits coming back, which is what's caused a lot of the anger. So basically, that is it. That is all that they've shown for the old world. So yeah. So that's the previews, everybody. So what was I right about? Well, I said that there was going to be the Stormlord, Stormbringer, however I called him, was coming. The dude with the big sword, the big gun for 40k. I was pleasantly surprised with the old world release showing, because that's a lot, and they've kind of told us a little bit. Now, one thing that they did say about the old world is it's one of the first major releases of next year, so it'll be coming out very early, probably some point in January will be coming out. Now, another thing to remember is, as I said earlier in the video, there is another preview next month. So expect to see the Tomb King side of the launch of Old World, and more than likely how it's going to be launched. But I'll be doing another predictions video closer to the time. Also, there'll be probably more Necrons shown in that one, and a few other bits and pieces. But all in all, it was not a bad preview. It's exactly what I expected. I said, and so the person that in the comments on the last video said that I was being negative. I wasn't being negative. I said that if you go into these previews expecting the minimum, you're not going to get disappointed, because as per usual, you've got to remember that what this was done for today, this is the 40th anniversary of Warhammer. And essentially, we got shown one Necron HQ, a Codex, an Admech HQ, a Codex, a new model for Sylvaneth, a new dragon character for Stormcast, a new box set for and half of it we'd already seen for Kill Team, and then we basically got shown one new hero and one regiment that we hadn't seen officially, and basically a load of old models for the Bretonnians. When you look at the grand scale of what they actually shown us, compared to what this day is, it's Warhammer Day, it's a 40th anniversary. They've been building up to this for months, counting down every preview, like this model came out on this date, this model came out on this, and it was kind of like in building up for like 40 odd weeks or something for this, and this is the level of preview that they gave us. Again, I always say this after the preview, that they could have quite easily made a 30-second video of showing what was to come next year for all of their game systems, but they don't, because for some unknown reason Games Workshop are scared to actually show what's coming. And as I said in my predictions video, we will not see the Dark Angels. And I will be very much confident in saying that we will not see the Dark Angels in November. We will not see the Dark Angels until at least January, February at the earliest, because they're not going to be coming out until after March the 21st. So all in all, it was an okay preview. I got a lot of things right. I got some things wrong, but that's fine. I'm expecting some pretty cool stuff for the next one, but as in, I'll make a separate video for that. And I'm going to be making a separate video about the 4th edition Age of Sigmar Stormcast Eternals and what that means for them and their refresh. But we'll go into that in that video. So if you've liked this and you like my content, please drop me that subscription and ring that bell and drop me a comment right now telling me what your favourite model is. Because if it wasn't that Stormcast Eternal Dragon, then do you even have taste? And let me know what you think of the old world as well. Bringing back 20-year, 25-year, 30-year-old models back to retail and charging you current Games Workshop prices for kits that were pretty much a fraction of the price that they would be today. So that is the biggest concern on that. Maybe I should do a video just on that on its own as well. So if you want me to do that, drop that in the comments and we'll have a little chat about that. So I'll see you all in the next one, everyone. Thanks very much for joining me. Goodbye for now.